We're going to speak today on a very interesting topic about digital, mobile, and other technologies. I have the great pleasure of introducing Dean Haverstraw. Dean is Director of IT at Samson Ropes Technologies, based out of Washington State. Dean and I met maybe 3 years ago at a conference where we were presenting, and we hit it off. We've partnered with them to enable their digital journey. So Dean, as I said, Director of IT, he is passionate about transforming customer and employee experience using the latest in digital. He's a business-focused technology leader, lot of manufacturing experience, and his current focus is on mobility, AI, and IoT. We really want to listen to their story.
Good morning, everybody. I'm a rope guy now. I wasn't always a rope guy, but I've been in manufacturing for a long time. I love manufacturing. We're actually building something and solving a solution, shipping it. You get all of the facets of business. In our digital age, sometimes we lose track of some of the things that have to happen when things actually have to leave your business and not just digitally, but go out in the world. So that's one of our biggest challenges. We're a really old company, but I think we're young at heart. We're over 140 years old, and we're actually the longest continually running trademark in the US. So our founder was part of the first class of MIT. And when he graduated, he started inventing things around rope. Rope had been around thousands of years. People have been using it for many different things in many different ways. But it hadn't really changed in a long time. It was basically fibers twisted together, and it had graduated to steel fibers, which you'd know as wire rope, but it had been basically produced the same way and thought of in the same way. So 140 some years ago, our founders started applying technology to something that was low technology. So I like to tell people that we were a technology company before there were technology companies. We just didn't know it. And now in this day and age, we are just in a sweet spot of technology enabling us to do all kinds of things. So we play in so many markets that each application and use of rope is so different that we've really got to be connected to our customers to know really what solutions they need, because the rope isn't important to most of our customers until they have a problem with it. It's attaching something to something. It's lifting something to something. It's almost not thought about, except it's a critical part of any application. When you're talking about liquid natural gas tankers in refineries, those things can't just float away. So our business is delivering rope, but also delivering safety and delivering service that our customers can rely on and know that they have a trusted partner, but also a product there that they can rely on and use and discard is key thing for us when it needs to be. We have people all over the world in sales, but we're based out of Washington State in the corner of the country. We've got a plant in Louisiana that services a large part of South America and Europe. But at our heart, we're really a small company. So as we talk about Samson, realize we have a fairly small footprint for the wide reach of our customers and our products. So that's one of our challenges. We talk about service going forward here and how Unvired and Alok have helped us reach some of our achievements. I think everybody shares a lot of these visions. Generally, I mean, we all want our customers to have a great experience, right? Our employees are our most valuable asset and resource. So of course, if we can improve that, that's always top of mind. And technology is reaching into so many different areas in every part of your company that you've really got to keep an eye on what technology can do and maybe what it can't do for your organization and your customers. The other part of our vision was really to transform our field service because, as I said earlier, we're a small company. We don't have a large field service, but they go all over the world. And if our rope needs service in Dubai, we'll send somebody there. So that was a tough landscape too, to navigate, especially as we grow and grew more successful. To have thousands of ropes in the field and have to service them at a drop of the hat is hard to obviously schedule. But we were committed to servicing the ropes for the life of the ropes. And some of our ropes last 10 to 12 years. So then COVID happened, and that changed everything again. And once again, with Alok's help, we were in a fine position to take advantage of that. So I'm going to talk a little bit later about how the current COVID situation and what we're living through now really does affect your business and how you can use technology again to maybe take advantage of this. But we were already in the process of transforming our field service so it would be more efficient and productive for ourselves and our customers. We realized we needed to use other technologies that were just coming online and maybe not perfected, but we needed to just push the bubble a little bit. So we've been getting into things like IoT, augmented reality, artificial intelligence is going to be huge for all of us. If you have any technology exposure at all, that is going to touch every part of our lives and already is, with things like Alexa and other verbal tools and visual tools. Machine learning is going to change the world, and I think it already is. So we all need to be looking at this as opportunities for us to take advantage of. So we had this vision when I met Alok, and like I said, he gave a good presentation, happened to reach out to him and kind of learn what they did, and we saw that maybe there was a fit here. So when we talk about field service, what Unvired has really helped us in, you think about now, we have thousands of ropes in the field, we've got hundreds of customers spread all over the world, and these ropes need to be inspected, and they need to be repaired in some cases, and they needed expert advice. Well, there are thousands of ships in the world that have our ropes. We're in mining, we're in crane, so you can imagine how this just explodes. So our people couldn't be everywhere, so we started training our customers and crew to do things, but everything was kind of old school, spreadsheets, because that's what they could get on the bow of the ship, and maybe that's what they're comfortable with. And crews didn't have the ability often to really inspect it and accurately report the damage. So how do we fix this? And then our technicians had problems when they get in the field, even identifying products. So which product was this? How long has it been in the field? What has it been through? What has been the life of this rope? And then you had no integration with the cloud, on-premise things. So sharing information and data was really difficult. So we were challenged. We were successful.
And your CRM system is Salesforce, correct? Salesforce? Yes,
we use Salesforce ecosystem for many of our departments and customer-facing applications. So it's a great platform and ecosystem. But there was a challenge there because we have other on-premise systems, and now we're trying to bridge the gap between our people being able to be out in the world, especially now with COVID, and everywhere at one time, which they can't be. So how do we bridge that gap? And our crew and our customers not necessarily knowing what to do. So of course we look to mobile, and that's where Unvired came in. Our mobile app, which is in use now, is really the bridge to the new world of field service. So not only is hybrid middleware, I'm not going to read all this to you, and using the middleware of Unvired allows us great flexibility as far as information flows and where it goes, but tying all this stuff together so our customers can see the information that they need to see, but not the information that they're not supposed to see. Integrating with IoT information, so the world is talking to us and talking to our customers, so it's telling us things about the environment, things about locations of people and assets in the field. All of a sudden, the world is giving us information and making our application and our customers more informed. And then there's the use of things like augmented reality, which allows us to do a virtual measuring tape. So when you're on the deck of that ship and you're trying to measure a rope, you don't have to fumble or have two people to do this. You can do it virtually, capture the image, make an annotation, send it to us. Maybe we have a problem, maybe we don't, but we don't have to send someone to the other side of the world to solve that. The other features that we put in here are really complementary to identifying the rope, things like NFC chips. Now the rope is kind of talking to us. It's not phoning home yet, but we're working on it. So, I mean, that's the reality, right? How far can you take this technology? And the ability to work offline and Unvired's knowledge and how to manage that has really been critical, because the reality is you don't control the environment that your applications, your customers, in many cases your products live in. So you've got to be able to adapt and degrade gracefully. So this has been a big success so far, and I think this is just going to continue and grow in capabilities and reach this. So we can see damage over hundreds of customers and thousands of ropes, so we can actually tell them when we think they need to either repair or replace the rope. So things like that, and the ability that Alok has made here to actually grab this information and transmit it across the world in an understandable way when our customers are speaking many different languages and in many different parts of the world. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so I guess let's move over to business benefits, because I think that's what people really want to listen and understand. And I think, Dean, if I can make a request to you without telling us anything, that is confidential, but clearly you are giving access to customers, not just employees. So how is the business model changing? Is this enabling you to do things, people talk of, it's going to be the service economy, not products. How is this changing the business model, if at all?
Well, I think the business model is continually changing, but for us, we're now allowing our customers to perform actions that they couldn't before because they didn't have the training or the knowledge to do it or the tools. So in a way, while they are doing some of the work we used to do for them, in many cases they had to wait to get that. If you're flying across the world and you have to go do something and then analyze rope, etc. We're doing it faster now because we're sharing these tools not only for our internal people, as Alok said, we're sharing them with our customers. So our customers are going to be using this inspection app and this app that will tell us exactly what the rope is experiencing throughout its life. So while they are actually doing more hands-on work, we're actually able then to do more of the trusted advisor work, engineering analysis and predictive analysis using things like IoT and machine vision. Things like that can tell you what we should be doing with the rope. So it's a shared thing, but we find that our customers really want more access to information, better information, and faster information. So giving them not only the tools to collect that, but a platform which we've provided to them in our field service platform, Icaria, to actually review, analyze, and share this information, integrate it with their asset management systems, so their people can be more efficient. I think it's a win-win on both sides. While we've invested the money and the time and a lot of resources of our people to make this thing happen, it's really been valuable all throughout our food chain. And to our customers, we're just getting really great feedback on what this is going to do now, but also where they can see it going in the future.
Okay, and I just want to probe this a little bit more because, business benefits, everybody wants to understand. So I think you hinted at maybe doing things more towards predictive maintenance, being able to, I guess, do the damage assessment better. So maybe if you can share a little bit about how this has helped you actually go to predictive maintenance. And one more question, when it comes to field service, right? I was reading somewhere what people are saying is the field service is also an opportunity to increase sales. Because that's another channel. So do you see this enabling you to do both? Yes, better maintenance, more predictive, and also an opportunity for your guys to upsell and cross-sell, and I'm saying that in a good way. Can you shed any light on those 2 points?
That's a great point, Alok. I'm glad I have you here. So predictive maintenance.
Spontaneous.
It's just like those first couple drinks we had. We need to do that again when we're COVID normal. So as far as predictive maintenance, if you think about it, and I don't know what business the people who watch this are in, but if you have field service operations or service operations of any sort, which we do, it's important to have that information that informs the decisions about what you need to do. So rather than just scheduling maintenance at periodic times and guessing when you might need it, gathering that information through something like a mobile app, through IoT and stuff, so you can actually get a better picture of when a customer needs to do something, or maybe they do need us to come out. So we can also actually load balance our team, deliver our service in a timely manner when they need it, and not bother our customer when they don't. And then as far as upselling, I don't like to think of it as upselling. What we find is it's really not upselling, and we kind of thought about that. We could add other services here, because if we're scheduled to do something on a field service for mooring, say, and they discover they'd like to do 3 other inspections and maybe some repairs that weren't planned, we now have that ability to just add that to our work order while we're out there and record it. And soon we'll be having approval through our customers so they can get through their chain, gets approval to say, this is what we really need. And maybe we cancel service that we had planned because they don't need it and they're saving some money. So we find it's really more cooperative, and them actually leveraging our trusted advisor network of engineering and service personnel. So they reach out and can communicate and work with us when they need to, not when we want to, but when they need to.
Just, if you can share with the audience what things went well with Unwired and overall as a project, what could we have done better? What could you have done better? So just share the lessons learned, so people can really benefit from this.
Yeah, I think I love to talk about what you learned after you finished the thing you thought you knew about and you learned that you really didn't know as much as you knew. That's kind of the whole thing. We're an agile shop, so the agile is all about kind of learning and adjusting, whatever. So I had to pick a couple here just to talk about in general, and they are key things, but there were many lessons learned over this, and we're still learning. I think Alok and his team are learning kind of new industries and some new products and what's really required out there, and we're kind of stretching each other's minds. But so trying to keep this more general and abstract so it's maybe useful to many different industries or applications. I think for us, you really want to not only map your goals, your deliverables, but you do have to be open to those things that you learn and the things that you discover. And sometimes it's because you were wrong about something that opens another opportunity. So as we learned different things, we were able to adjust with Alok and his team to actually add new functionality, adjust things, actually remove things we thought were important that weren't. So you need to have the trusted partner so you're able to change on the fly. You don't want to get involved in change order war, because that's not productive for anybody. While we may have change orders because Alok does have to say, well, it's going to cost this much for this much effort, there normally we agree and kind of understand that this is additional work. Okay, this is what it's going to cost us. This is the time it's going to take us. But if this is more important than that, we're fine to walk away from that decision a week to a month ago. So examples of this is the custom upload system that we had to adjust to some limitations on our platforms, some image size limitations for mobile devices because all the cameras are getting so great, but some people don't have that great of Wi-Fi or internet connectivity. So you have to manage that. Being able to manage offline. These were things that we knew we had to have in our product, but didn't realize how important they were and how involved they really were to make right. And the thing is, you want to make it right and deliver something that works in the right way in a timely manner. So I think you got to have those goals and deliverables, but you need to be flexible. And the other thing, I'd like to communicate, and from my own point of view, and lots of projects around technology and different technology, we're in such a great place right now with technology. If you think about the things that we can do with AI and machine vision and augmented reality that you would have had to have an army or a boatload of money to do even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago for some of these things. Now people have this in their pocket, or we can put it in their pocket. So if you can combine these things in unique and interesting new ways is really where the power is. It's like, great, you have a AR measuring. How does that really work? Well, if it's helping us track the length of a rope, that's pretty powerful if somebody else doesn't have to do it, right? So if we can get things like IoT, which is such a nebulous thing to a lot of people, but I like to think of it as things, which is a great name. IoT is Internet of Things is a great name because they're just changing things. Everything's becoming a thing. So your phone is a thing. So you're already into the IoT. So how can you leverage that? How can you use that information so it's informing you and not just overwhelming you? So I think that's kind of the art. Once again, you've got to have somebody who can take that technology. I know about this technology and I understand the technology, but I can't make it surface in this little device we call a mobile phone in our pocket. That's why you need that partner like Unvired to say, I see your vision. I see how we can use this technology and we know how to get it done. So things like machine learning, language and vision are super exciting if you think about that. Because once again, The machine is going to do work for us that we don't have to do, and we can do the things that humans do, which is that value-added thinking, deductive and analytic reasoning. So I'm so excited about where we're at, and this COVID thing to me is been so unfortunate because it's such a disaster all over the world, and especially in the United States. But you know, I've seen so many people just rise to the occasion, and you know, while this is a crisis, and you might see some Chinese characters over my shoulder there, because those are the symbols, the Chinese symbols for crisis, and they stand for dangerous opportunity. So I like to look at the crisis as normally there's an opportunity there. You may have to change course, and it may be a little bit dangerous, but I think there are opportunities in all of this crisis. How can we transform our companies so we can do those things in ways that we have to do it now that we never would have thought of? So field service now is becoming remote. Alok's going to help us get there. So now we can't always be and go to every spot in the world. How do you still service your customers? How do you still know what your products are doing and your customers need if you can't walk into their door like you used to, sit down and have lunch with them?
Any scenario where the app is helping you, customer, employee? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, first of all, what we're seeing from our customers is not only they understand it and it works, but they're really seeing how they can apply it to expand their business. So that's really exciting for us, because those are the things we don't know, once again, on the journey when we started, some of the things, the specific industries or companies. And then internally, our internal lab, which does hundreds, if not thousands of inspections of rope that is sent to us every year, have been using this extensively. It's actually cut their time down tremendously. We've integrated this into our reporting system. So now they're on the floor inspecting rope and doing that much more for our customers and being that much more efficient for Samson. So that's been super powerful, and they're so happy because they don't have to go run between machines and write things on an Excel sheet or down on a piece of paper and transpose it. It's like, it's changed our world. And then we can actually share those images and those reports with our customers so fast. We're now looking at ways we can integrate video technology so they can remotely take part in their inspection in our lab in Washington State.
So did you use APIs to connect, or what was the connection with integration with Salesforce, for example?
Yes, we're using Unvired's middleware to distribute our information. It gives us the ability to actually distribute to multiple locations. It's not dependent upon one platform, say Salesforce or not. So APIs are critical. That's a great question. A lot of people in the business world hear API and don't really understand it. It's just a better way of managing flows of information and delivering information. So we're actually really exploring that as maybe a next technology to really leverage as the whole API management platform, because I believe data delivery will be a feature of the new service.
Right. So as Dee mentioned, they use the Unvired digital platform, and yes, one can use APIs or any kind of REST services and things like that. Anything we can help people to share and learn from each other, that's what we want to do. So with that, thank you, Dean, once again. Okay?
Thank you.
Talk to you next month. Bye.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you again.